Thank you, and thank you for everyone for joining us this Sunday. Sincere apologies for anyone who couldn't make it last week. We had some Zoom issues, but we're back with you today, and we're delighted to share this space of community and love and caring. Our beautiful core team member, Mimi, is bringing her magic to us today. And I really love it when Mimi brings her voice because she always talks from a place of experience. So whenever she has a challenge in her life and she finds a way to overcome it, she makes a note of that and is so eager to share what she learns and the tips and tricks and tools that help her in her life journey. So she's going to bring us a session on living in the present moment, which is the final session for July. Next week is August, and we move into Abundant August. So there's lots of exciting things planned there. But for now, we've got our Mimi to share her heart and her soul and her wisdom with us today. So welcome, Mimi, and thank you for bringing your voice.
Thank you very much for having me here. I'm really grateful, and it's an honor for me to be with you today and to share some of my experience and the struggle and the success and some techniques that have helped me through over the past few years to overcome living in the past or worrying too much about the future, which happens a lot sometimes. So what we are going to do now is I'm going to share with you a small presentation. We will do some exercises, and then we will try to replicate those exercises in a meditation. So what I always say is, one thing I want from you is to have fun, because if you don't have fun, you bring bad feelings to your energy, and then I don't make you, I don't help you. And I don't want that to happen. So have fun and just try to accommodate my craziness a little bit. And I hope you get something out of this session. So I'm going to start sharing. Let me know if you can see it. My screen. Yeah. Just make sure.
Perfect.
But thank you. So we are going to discuss how to live in the present moment. I'm going to explain to you what do I mean in my concept of what is living the present moment. Then I'm going to discuss with you some human behavior or habits that I can find in myself, and maybe you can find it too in your day-to-day. Then what has been the impact in my life. And after that, so we can reflect a little bit on those topics. And after that, I'm going to share with you some techniques that I use to continue to ground myself and to live the present moment as much as I can, because life is too short not to enjoy it, even if it's not 100% great. Then we are going to go through a meditation in which on the first, well, I will explain later what we are going to do on the meditation, and then we will have a few minutes for sharing, okay? So for me, living the present moment means that I enjoy the current moment I'm living at, accepting that every situation evolves. Nothing is permanent. So I was a little bit nervous at the beginning of the session. It passed. Now I'm okay. So last week I was sick. Now I'm okay. I don't know what the future what the future is for me in the next hour or so. So I don't worry about the future anymore. I enjoy being here with you guys. I try not to think about the past or the present, and every time in my mind, something from the past comes up or a worrying from the future comes up, I accept that I'm here. I try to focus myself in this specific moment and remember that nothing is permanent, and that's how I see life. Sorry for the typo there. Now, what are the behaviors or habits that I see in myself that I see in some of my friends or family members, or that I've read that are common? And if let's put a finger down for yourself if that happens to you. You don't have to share it, but just keep notes so you know if we are on the same situation. So the past always seems to look brighter or better. So when I was, for example, a consultant like 20 years ago, I was looking forward to move out of that professional path. And in the past few months, with new challenges, I saw myself thinking, "Oh my God, when I was a consultant, my life was," and then I said, "No, that's not true. That's bullshit." Always the past always looks brighter and better, but I do remember some things that are not necessarily great. This is just an example of my professional career path. No? So when that happens, I'm like, okay, this is not true, but it's a behavior that I see myself often. No? Also, we tend to go back to the known. So we don't like unknown most of the time. When I don't know what is going to happen, I normally try to go to the safe path. So, oh, I know this worked for me, so I'm gonna do the same thing, and then you ended up making the same mistakes, not able to, oh, you are not open to new things, so to the unknown. So you sometimes miss opportunities to meet new people, to different places, to experience new things, to relax in a difficult situation. And well, tending to go back to the known is for me a no-no. So even though I tend to do that often, this is one of the behaviors that I have in my mind as well. I keep conscious about. So when this happens, then I try to change my approach to the specific situation. Well, we all face negative situations, right? Or negative results. And if I'm in a situation where in the past I got negative results, or is the same situation that I was not comfortable with, well, I start to produce negative feelings. So instead of focusing my energy and my attention into the present moment and the current situation, I will go back well, my mind will go back to that negative result, and then I will jeopardize the situation, or the result. I will have the same result over and over again. So I do think about what could have been different, but now not from the perspective of, oh, this is happening and it's going to happen again. No, it's more like, okay, this happened, but at that point I didn't have these tools, or I was not mature enough, or my emotional state was in a bad, it was bad, or just look it from as an observer rather than feeling it all over again. So I changed the outcome of the situation, and it could be from being in a negative situation in which in the past I just couldn't handle it and started to cry or stop talking or block myself to something like an exam in which, like my professional exam in which I was stubborn, and I decided to be really proud in front of the judges, and they decided that I wasn't that I needed to be a little bit more humble, and they almost ended up not. I almost ended up not passing my exam, for example, and I was supposed to get a honoris medal or something like that. I don't know how to call it in English. Sorry. And because of my behavior, I ended up not having it. So every time I'm facing like now people that has higher hierarchy than myself, well, in the past, I used to think about this situation. I used to jeopardize the result by getting nervous and not knowing what to say. And well, it wasn't not ending great. Now I don't do that, but I do remember what was my mistake without feeling the bad aspect of it, just as an observer, as I said, and things have changed for me. Lack of kindness to ourselves or to others. Sometimes when we are experiencing some situations, especially if the result is depending upon us, like I don't know, if you want to provide more for your family, or you want to find love, or if you were in a situation in which you must have behaved differently, but you didn't, and then you feel bad about it. We don't show kindness to ourselves. So we are very critical to ourselves. We tend up to punish ourselves more than we should, or to others, especially if those others are family or close family, and they do something that in your eyes is not necessarily good, or could have been better, let's put it that way, and you want them to be the best version of themselves, and you want them to reach out to your standards, you are not kind. And when that happens, then you start bringing the past to the present moment, and you start jeopardizing your future with yourself and with others as well. So when I see this behavior in myself, I normally try to breathe, relax, and see it from a perspective of love. So I remember that I'm human, and the people in front of me is human, and we all make mistakes, and we learn from them. And with that vision in mind, then I reply back to the situation. Then not to forget or forgive. How many fingers are down? I hope not too many, all of mine. So when we continue to bring to the present moment similar experience from the past, and those experiences are not necessarily good and are painful, and we don't forget and we don't forgive, when we experience the same situation in our life, most likely we will end up having the same result. It's like a cycle. Same experience, same behavior, same result. And it goes all over again, and you only bring pain to your life. So in the past, I used to say, I forgive, but I don't forget. And it hasn't worked properly. So I now focus more on forgiving and forgetting, even though the experience give me or leave me with a specific tool, no, to overcome future situations. I try not to think about it, and I let go. It's not easy, but I try to let go, because I know, and I know that life is not long enough to live it in the way we like, on a perfection. But I try to see my life as a perfect scenario, and good things or bad things happen, and I always ask myself, oh, what is this situation bringing for me to learn? So what am I learning from this experience? And I try to remove negative feelings, and I try not to get to keep a bad feeling with another person, no matter how close or not is this person, or if it's like a close relative or not. I try to forgive and move on. It's not easy, as I said, but it gives me peace to think that everything passes, nothing is permanent. And sometimes we are humans, we make mistakes, and we are not here to judge. We are here to live our life on the best way we can. And that's what I apply or try to apply on a daily basis. This is being too hard on others when you see something similar to you, or what do we not accept from ourselves. That's a tough one. But as a behavior, I also see that when I see something that I like in another person, is because I'm seeing something that I like about myself. So I try to do the mirror scenario. So if I see something similar to myself, that I know that something that I don't know accept from myself about myself in another person, and then I start to get angry or uncomfortable, or I start to think like, I don't like this person. I'm like, okay, what am I seeing in this person that looks similar to what I'm seeing in myself, that I need to accept first. So that changes a little bit the way I treat the person and the way I feel about that specific person and the way I feel about myself. So I ground myself and I live in the present. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what happened with this person in the past, or what is. I don't think about what's happening in the future. This person is in front of me for a reason. So I enjoy the person's company at that moment, and I try not to be too hard when I see experiences from the past, or attitudes or behaviors that I have that I like about myself in this particular moment with this person. So I live the moment, and then I try to don't think about either the past or the present, or what happened to me, or why I don't like this specific quality, or let's put it like quality in this person, and then I'm able to actually enjoy the experience of being with the person that is similar to me and the thing I don't like about me. Worried about the future. That's a tough one. Huh? I have two teenagers. One is going to the university. The tuition is not cheap, not in Mexico. If you want your daughters to have a nice, good education, let's put it that way, or a better future for themselves. So I start to worry about the future, and then I remember that everything passes, and I believe in getting in a state of mind in which you get what you think, and you are what you think, and you attract who you are. So I try to be abundant and feel abundant and think about abundance, and don't think about how am I going to pay the tuition, for example. I'm more focused on current goals, and what can I do today in order for me to be okay today, and then try not to think about I try not to worry about the future, just act upon rather than worry about. Focus on the things we can control. Who does that? I used to do that very often. Sometimes I still do it. Like, I don't know, if I wanted to I don't know, travel with my family, and suddenly there's another commitment from one member that cannot make it, or I don't know, I was expecting to go out to a shiny day and then it's raining, and I do my best and I don't manage to sell my best to others. I cannot control what the weather. I cannot control others, so I focus on what I can control. So it's for me to live my life in a present moment, I focus on things that I can control, because otherwise, if I focus on things that I cannot control, I go back to the past, or I worry too much about the future. So those are more or less the things that I work on, the habits or behaviors that I work on, and especially in talking about habits, for example, it's like I used to work out a lot in the past, so I was really thin. No? So my habit in the past was really good. I used to spend a lot of time exercising, and my habit changed, right? But because I used to work a lot in the past, I think I deserve to be thin or to have a healthy life. No, no. I also need to be focus on be objective and be real about myself. If I want to have a nice, healthy life in this present moment, I need to go back to exercising and to eat healthy and take healthy choices rather than to think about the past, because the past is always brighter, and change my habits as well. If I want to ground myself and I have too many things to think about, I want to ground myself, I need to do something and I need to act upon it. So I have the habit of meditating on a daily basis, at least 15 minutes if I don't have the time, or a few hours if I do have the time, in order for me to be able to find myself in my safe space, think about nothing, become nothing, and worry about anything, and just enjoy myself, and create in my mind what things I want to create in the future, without worrying too much or without trying to control the outcome of it. So Walter left, he entered again. So this is the human behaviors or habits that I normally focus on, or that I see myself that cause trouble to live in the present moment. And now I'm going to share with you the impact that those human behaviors or emotions have in myself. So impact, obviously negative emotions. So when you think too much about the past, or worry about too much about the future, or you are passing a past experience in the now, those negative emotions will, as I said before, will take you to the same result, or won't allow you to enjoy your life. For example, in this case, let's put an example. In the past, I have 8 brothers and sisters. My father and mother worked all day long. They were not with us all the time, or most of the time. Since the age of 8, we used to take care of ourselves, eat everything. So if you wanted to go to school, you had to do it by yourself. If you wanted to have lunch, food was there. It was up to you. If you wanted to be presentable at school, you had to make sure that you had your clothes clean, things like that. No? But now, in the past, that used to bring negative emotions to myself, and then I overprotected my girls, and then I ended up having a similar result with my girls, that they were not necessarily feeling loved because I was too strict, or because those negative emotions were from the past, were making me try to control everything in order for them to be the best version of themselves, but I wasn't doing them a good thing. I was doing a bad thing. So that I try not to think about the past when I'm raising my kids. Just learn from the past, look at it as an observer, and try to change, to have a balance in that sense. If you think about the past, you most likely will end to have a life full of suffering or bad memories. So if you had a bad relationship in the past, and then you have the opportunity to meet someone that ticks all the boxes, and you end up thinking about the past, most likely you will bring the suffering to the present moment and you won't be able to enjoy it. So I have created bad results and experience for myself. Not only that, also with friends and at work, because of bringing my background or where I come from, or the lack of things, or the lack of love, or the bad experiences to the present moment. If I just look at the present moment and I see how blessed I am and how beautiful life is, the lessons that you can learn from even bad experiences, the result changes completely. Joe Dispenza says that when you focus your energy is where you get the results. So we waste a lot of energy, and I think energy is the source of everything. So if you focus your energy in the past, or you focus your energy worrying about the future, or you focus your energy on negative things, or those negative things or negative thoughts will bring negative experiences. And well, experiences for me are key to this life, because I believe we are here to enjoy life at maximum expression and to learn from others and to share with others and to end up being one. I believe in oneness. If we can minimize the impact of the past or worrying about the present by trying to ground ourselves and live our present moment the best way we can, I think that's something that it will do good not only to us but also to others, because we share the same space, we share the energy, and at the end of the day we are a community. And we can do good by trying to live the present moment and sharing positive experiences and positive energy to others. Well, these are some of the techniques that I use from different authors to allow me to focus on the present moment or living the present moment. The first one is a breathing exercise that I have experienced in a live event with Joe Dispenza. And as probably you remember from past experiences, that we have the chakras. He doesn't call them chakras, obviously, but and then you have to consider your body as if it was a straw, and then you focus on your first chakra, and then from that you feel the energy of the first chakra, and then you try to bring the energy up to your last chakra and squeeze your body. So you breathe, squeeze your body, and then you keep squeezing your body until you reach to your final chakra, and then you hold your breath there for as long as you can, and then you exhale. And when you exhale as strong as you can. So when you do this exercise, it's like you reset your brain, because you are bringing the energy or the oxygen to your brain, and then your brain is pushed in a way that you don't think about anything, and then you release everything that you have in your body. So when I'm facing, for example, when for some reason I'm experiencing again a negative experience from the past, similar to the past, and I don't want to think about what happened in the past, but want to change the result, I do these breathing exercises. Sorry for the typos as well. I do these breathing exercises, and it allows me to ground myself again and to act as per the current conditions in the present moment. So this is one of the things that I do. The other one is also from Joe Dispenza, is the change method. So I don't know if you do this, but when I'm in the shower, I'm normally thinking about uh, what I'm gonna do during the day, because I plan ahead. Something I cannot, well, because of formation or because of who I am, I cannot avoid. But sometimes when I'm taking the shower and I'm thinking about what I'm going to do, and I'm going to face some experience that is coming from the past, what happens to me is that sometimes something pops out of the past, or I start to worry a lot about the future. And one thing that Dr. Joe says is that when you are facing this, you have to say change. So use the word change as a mechanism to change the outcome, or to stop focusing in those past or future thoughts. Just focus on the present. So even though I'm thinking about the future, because I'm aligning myself to what is going to happen through my day, when this happens, I say the word change, and I say it 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, or as much as is needed, in order for me to avoid thinking about past or present or worrying too much. So the changing method works for me a lot, especially when I'm talking about or thinking about work, or thinking about professional aspects. It's a way of avoiding the past. For me, it's like a trigger. So I say change, and as if it was like a magic wand, I will change, which is great, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to cope with all the activities that I have during my day. The other method I do is energy creation. When I start to go back to the past and feel that I don't, I'm not enjoying the present moment because of the past. And this is from one of the Mind Valley teachers. I forgot his name, sorry. It will come to my mind at some point. So then you do this with your hands, right? And then after a few minutes or seconds, or depending on how much energy do you need, and while you feel the bad energy in your body, you try to to see where are you feeling this bad energy, or where this bad memory is coming from. Then after you are creating energy with your hands, and then you put your hands like this, and then you start to feel like the energy is growing. And once the energy is growing, and when you feel that you have enough energy, I put my hands in my stomach, for example, which is the place I most of the time feel like the emotions coming from the past, or the worry of the future. And it's like a magic for me, again. So my body relaxes, and then I ground myself, and I'm not thinking any longer about the past or worrying about the future. The other technique I use a lot is appreciation for what is happening, or the gratitude exercise. So if I start to think about the past, and I have a bad experience, for example, in my relationship with my husband, no? So in the past, with my previous husband, something happened and the result was bad, and then I'm suddenly getting, I mean, in this present moment, facing that same experience, the first thing I do is I say, I appreciate what happened in the past, and I'm grateful for that experience, but this is a different situation and a different person, and this is a different relationship. So I think this moment, I'm grateful for this moment, and I thank this opportunity to change the way the things could end. And at that specific moment, and this is weird, but at that specific moment, the past experiences like disappears, or at least I don't focus on it, and I'm able to live this experience as if it was a new one. It's not easy. We have a lot of wounds, no? As a humans, and we tend to keep our wounds rather than to let them go. but it allows me to let go and gratitude and focusing in this specific, saying these specific words or words that are aligned to not thinking about that, but be grateful for what happened in the past, allow me to live the present moment as if it was a new experience, because it is a new experience. It's another person, different different scenario, let's put it that way. So it's a way to let go and to focus on the present. Also, the perspective. I don't know what I was doing this. I'm doing this. Okay. So on the perspective side, as I said, for me, the concept of living the present moment means to let go of the past, to think about like 10 minutes ago already passed. Now I'm here with you, and I'm enjoying this time of sharing. And I don't know what's going to happen in an hour. So everything passes. So when I face situations or I see myself thinking too much about the past or living the past in my present, I try to put in mind this perspective again, that everything passes and everything happens for a reason, and I'm going to learn something from this experience. This is nothing similar to what happened before, or and if at the end of the day something similar happens, I have to learn something that I haven't learned before. So I'm going to ride this horse and enjoy it again. And the last one is to be kind. So I have to say, I'm really I'm really tough about with me or with me and with people close to me, because I care. And I used to try to be perfectionist, and that brought me to not try to speak in public or shut myself down or overthink or really bad things that I wasn't enjoying. So I decided to be kind with myself. I decided to be kind with the rest of the world, and I decided to always try to be kind, no matter what, no matter if the situation is hard. Believe me, I've been through really hard things that are not probably for sharing in this forum or openly when we are recording, but I do try to be kind with myself. I try to be kind with others, and I always ask myself, what would I do if what is currently bothering me from the past, from the future, from this experience was done by someone that I really love? What will be my reaction to this? Or like I had bad experiences in the past, and then it happens to me again on friendship or in a relationship or at work. And then I don't know, like you feel like somebody in the past did something that caused trouble for you, no? And then you experience the same thing again, and then you think about the past, and then you get angry, and then the only thing that is going to happen to you is that you won't live at the present moment and enjoy the experience again. You will be living the past, and you will be replicating the response. So I try to think, what is it that I'm trying to, that this person is at, and why is this person doing this instead of what happened in the past with another person, and how can I help this person to see things from my point of view, or how can I help this person to lessen the burden that I might sometimes see. So we are humans, we make mistakes, we see things from our own perspective, but when you try to see things from the perspective of others, then you are able to actually help or to get better results or to not to bring negative aspects to your life. So for me, kindness is something that I try to do try to live with on a daily basis, and helps me a lot with myself, but also I think it helps others. So, water. Okay. So this is overall like the how I see living the present moment and the techniques that I use. Now we are trying to do, we are going to do a short meditation because I'm already 15 past 10. So we are going through a relaxation phase. We will think about the situation from the past. We will do the change technique, and we will try to be kind and grateful with what we are living in the present moment and with ourselves. Okay.